Hey everyone, it's Job. It's finally July, and that means I can finally show you my completed weekly insert. I initially used a dated horizontal weekly insert from Midori, but I ended up purchasing a dated vertical weekly insert in late January, and I ended up using that insert from February to June. If you didn't know, Midori sells predated weekly inserts at the beginning of each year. In that package, you get two weekly inserts, one for the first half of the year and one for the second half of the year. Today I'm going to flip through my completed insert for the first half of the year. Okay, let's get started. As I've said earlier, I started using the horizontal weekly insert at the beginning of the year, but I actually started this insert back in December because that's the first spread in this insert, and I think this spread turned out alright. It's a little bit basic, and I did more journaling and writing instead of adding different elements or paintings. So I guess my favorite part of this spread is the little Zara tag that I pasted at the bottom of the spread to indicate the new jacket that I purchased that week. And I also really like that 10th anniversary sticker that I put on the right page, and I think that came with the weekly insert package as well. So you get these cool stickers for each. I guess you're supposed to put it at the cover of your insert, but I didn't. So let's move on to the next spread. In general, I think at the beginning of 2017 and at the later half of 2016, I was just really bored with the horizontal weekly insert because that's what I used for 2016. So these spreads aren't the most original, but in this spread, I think I basically relied on a lot of different elements to take up more space so I didn't have to paint or brush letter as much as I usually do. So I bought a new passport size black traveler's notebook, I think on my birthday. Yeah, I bought it as a little birthday gift to myself, and I visited the Time stationery store that weekend as well. And yeah, I think I just talked about my New Year's plans on that spread, but yeah, it's pretty basic. So this next spread is, I guess it's a little bit more my current style because it's just messy and full of different elements. I wanted to try something new and I wanted to indicate my mood somehow in the spread, so I created these little watercolor blobs and the colors indicated my mood, but it only lasted for 3 days because I got too lazy. And on that week I watched, no, not The Force Awakens, Rogue One, which was a Star Wars movie, and I really liked it. But as you can see, oh, I don't think you can see it, but that brown washi tape on the right page is actually covering up a huge mistake that I made, and I used one of those calendar sheets to hide that mistake as well. But I ended up rescripting that quote from The Force Awakens, nope, the quote from Rogue One at the bottom of the right page. And this spread is it's alright. It's really messy because I'm trying to cover up a huge mistake, but I really like that hand sticker that I put in the center of the left page. Overall, I mean, it's a cool spread, but as you can see, this is when I moved over to my vertical weekly insert, and I ended up using this insert just for managing, and not managing, I guess it's managing, planning out my YouTube video post and Instagram post and when to film videos. It's just basically all about my Job's journal realm. Realm sounds like a weird word, but you know what I mean. So now we are going to look at my vertical weekly insert. I purchased this in mid-January in Hong Kong, and I ended up using it when I got back from vacation. So that was, I think, the first week of February when I was using this. But I still journaled about my time in Taiwan. I love me a good alliteration. But I just talked about Jufin, and I didn't use too many elements because I think I was in a rush when I was creating this because I was more focused on creating daily spreads for my trip to Hong Kong and Taiwan, but I did include my, I think, an airplane ticket or a ticket stub at the bottom of the right page. But yeah, I like this spread because it reflects Chinese New Year, which happened during that time, during that week. But yeah, let's move on to the next spread. So the next week was the first week of February, and I still had a few days off. I wasn't back at work yet, so I had time to journal, and I wanted to use a lot of different supplies that I got during my time in Taiwan and Hong Kong. That's why this spread looks so different from my earlier spreads, because I had so many new supplies and I was so happy to go and use those new supplies. But I basically just talked about my week. I think this was the first week. No, I didn't start work yet at all, so I went to Jeonju, which is a nearby city, and I had Indian food there. And I think I talked about. No, I did go back to work. I'm actually a little bit confused right now. No, I did go back to work. I'm sorry. I think I went back to work on Thursday. But yeah, this spread was really cool. And I purchased something from 8 Seconds, and 8 Seconds is a store or a clothing brand in Korea, and they collaborated with G Dragon, which is one of my favorite Korean artists. He's a K-pop artist, and I bought one of his t-shirts because I'm a GD fanboy. You all might as well know now. Okay, I just realized that we're almost 5 minutes into this video and we're nowhere near done, so I'm just gonna go a little bit faster. This next spread was centered all around the airmail package that I got from Joy Chong on Instagram. I basically won her giveaway, but she's also a good friend of mine, so I basically used a lot of elements that I got from that little care package, and I heavily embellished the spread. And in the spread, I started using more brush lettering, which is nice, and now I use a lot of brush lettering in my spread, so I guess this reflects my current style a little bit more than the earlier spreads. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about this spread since I have a plan with me video for this spread, but basically my family came to Korea that week and then we went to Osaka together. But I really like this spread because it's colorful and it kind of encapsulates the mood for that week, because I was really happy to be reunited with my family. But let's move on to the next spread. This next spread was created while I was still on vacation with my family, and I didn't have any supplies with me except for... No, I had my washi tape samples and a few brush pens, but overall I created this with very limited supplies. I only used ticket stubs, things from pamphlets, and things that I've collected during my travels with my family, and I think it turned out pretty cool considering I didn't have that much stationery with me. But there's not really much to look at because I focused more on journaling and I didn't have my paints and brushes with me, so there's no cool brush lettering except for... No, I had one brush pen, sorry, I lied. I used my brown brush pen to create a few brush lettering pieces in the spread. But let's move on to the next spread because this one's kind of boring, just saying. You can kind of tell that I came back from vacation on this spread because I was exhausted and I did not put any effort into this spread at all. It looks crazy. I mean, it's not crazy, it just looks really boring. So I think I tried to use a lot of elements that I had lying around. So when I went for shabu shabu, I used one of the, I guess, business cards, and then I used a few ephemera pieces and stamps, and I think I purchased my sister got me these Kenzo for H&M socks, so I cut out a piece of the packaging to put it in my spread. But yeah, let's move on. So this next spread is the total opposite to the one before it because it's super colorful and there's a lot of brush lettering in it. I think this was the first spread that I started incorporating that technique where I use a descriptive word to describe each day of the week, and I really liked how this turned out. I like how I have a little bit of humor in the spread, like the Korean sweet potatoes equals bay illustration. But yeah, this is a cool spread, and I used a whole bunch of postage stamps on the right page of the spread. But let's move on. This next spread is really fun because that week a whole bunch of events happened. So on Wednesday, my friend Aaron, who is the stationery standard on Instagram, sent me a little happy mail, and I used some of the things she sent over in this spread. Aaron also shares the same love for marble printed stationery, or anything white marble actually, so I was so happy that she sent a few white marble pieces over. And on that weekend I went to the Garden of Morning Calm, which is a famous garden in Korea. It's near Seoul, and basically in the wintertime they have this little special light show where they light up the whole garden with twinkle lights, and basically it looks like all the trees and bushes and plants are covered in little twinkle lights, and it was a really fun experience to go with my friends there because we've been talking about the Garden of Morning Calm ever since we came to Korea. We've been planning this trip for a while, so we finally went and it was really fun, and I think this spread reflects the fun and good times that I had this week. I'm gonna cut this video short because we're only halfway through this insert and we are basically at the 10-minute mark, and I don't want you to sit here and listen to me ramble for 30 minutes. So part 2 will be up next week or the week after that. I don't know if I'm gonna do a journal with me next week, but we shall see. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed part 1 of this flip through, and I hope you stay tuned for the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!